Welcome back. High drama ensued at the concluding session of the ruling Communist Party Congress in China. Today, as former president of China Hu Jintao was escorted out of the podium under the full glare of the Chinese media. Now, minutes after that video emerged, all of the Chinese establishment is busy trying to take that video off Chinese social media sites. In fact, that's the video on the left of your screens. Let's go full frame, in fact, to that video. Full frame, that's Hu Jintao being taken away. Look at him. Two guards walk up to him. They ask him to get up. That's Hu Jintao, the former president, seated right next to Xi Jinping. And he's asked to get out and he's wondering what's going on. Xi Jinping was just about taking over his party. Hu Jintao there, wondering what's going on, reluctant to leave, gets up, says something to Xi Jinping, says something to Li Keqiang, and they're all wondering what's going on. That's the story as it played out in China today. The development also followed by Xi Jinping later being elected for the third five-year term as head of the Chinese Communist Party. Abhishek, my colleague, joining us live, senior executive editor from our newsrooms in Delhi. Abhishek, what do you make of this video, especially because there are reports that China is trying to scrub this video out of the internet to make sure there are no traces, at least for its domestic audience?
Well, Niranjan, for one, on Twitter, it's Hu Jintao who's trending, not Xi Jinping, or maybe along with Xi Jinping. But that's very important because Chinese don't like this kind of loss of control. And that's why Hu Jintao, the lone, frail voice, was effectively purged and thrown out of the last session of the Congress where Xi Jinping got his third term. Now, this is a big thing. This essentially shows how strong Xi Jinping is and the kind of influence he has on the entire Chinese Communist Party apparatus. Not influence, in fact, I would say vice-like grip, Niranjan. Any element or apparatus within the Communist Party, the Military Commission, the Politburo, the Standing Committee, every arm of the Communist Party is now within a firm grip and grasp of Xi Jinping, because of which, obviously, next year in the month of March, he's going to be a third-term president, and it's possible that he has the ambition of being president for life, because we have seen over the last 10 years, in the name of dealing with corruption, in the name of disciplining the party, the kind of purge of rivals that has taken place, Niranjan. Let's go to Sriram Chaulia on that note, strategic affairs expert joining us over the phone. Sriram, you must have closely tracked the National Congress over the last week. What's your impression about these pictures of Hu Jintao being thrown out of the last meeting in which Xi Jinping finally got his third term?
Well, Abhishek, it just shows how cold-blooded and ruthless communist China is. They have gone back to the playbook of Mao Zedong, where people used to be publicly humiliated. No matter what position you have, if you are an obstacle to the big man, then you are, ruthlessly eliminated. And this is a sign of what happened, the humiliation of Hu Jintao, who at one time was the General Secretary of the Communist Party, President of the Republic, to be, treated like this, and that too in full camera glare. And it was deliberately done. It was all stage managed in order to show how the order has changed and who's the one calling the shots now. So it's a very, very dangerous sign of the decline of Chinese communist system from authoritarian to totalitarian. Now, it used to be a collective leadership and, there used to be a succession plan and a group of elders and multiple factions. Now, Xi Jinping has eliminated everything, like you just said, and it has moved from single party rule to one-man rule. And this is imagine the fate of 1.4 billion people, and even of the fate of the world, because China is a big power, all of this being now determined by one man. This is how much excessive personalization of power. Yeah. He's drunk with power. He's arrogant about power, and he wants to use that power to cut down everybody.
Yes.
It's such a kind of a dangerous character that Xi Jinping is, and the dangerous state that he's leading. And it's a clear warning and a threat to the world, and not just to Chinese people.
Well, in fact, Xi Jinping really is looking at the possibility of becoming next to Mao in terms of, remaining in power, perhaps possibly for all life. Sriram, I'll also want to understand what other takeaways are there from this 7-day-long National Congress that took place in Beijing, apart from, of course, Xi Jinping getting the third term today. We also saw yesterday China's constitution being changed to incorporate fighting spirit and inclusion of Taiwan within the One China principle. So it seems that formally Chinese have decided under the leadership of Xi Jinping that at some stage very soon they would be taking Taiwan if need be with the use of force. They have said that they have never denied, they have never had a no use of force policy, and they will continue to have that. So with this change in the constitution of China and incorporating inclusion of Taiwan in One China principle, you think that we are going to see over the next few years a more aggressive China under a more confident and absolutely assured Xi Jinping?
Absolutely. I think he was waiting for this anointing for his third term and to become a de facto president for life and then to go on the war footing. So all these changes are meant to institutionalize his approach of being very, very belligerent with all the rivals of China and to use force against them if need be in an overwhelming manner. And, it would not be surprising if they go for, an outright invasion very soon. The idea, many people have been living in kind of a fool's paradise, believing that as long as U.S. military is superior to Chinese military, they will wait it out. Xi Jinping will not attempt all-out invasion. But I think his notion is he has total command, he has total control, and he will take risks in his second decade in power.
Sriram, have to take a short break. Appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. Sriram and Abhishek, thank you for joining us. That's the video of the day. Hu Jintao being thrown out of the Communist Party Congress that was held where Xi Jinping has been re-elected for a record third term. Taking a short break. Back with that video and much more. Stay tuned.